Do you love breakdowns? Do you need stats? Do you crave insight? Download the AllStar app. UFC, Bellator, PFL 1 Championship, and more. Ad-free, fully customizable. Download the best app in the business. Link in descriptions. In the world of the UFC and just in the world of MMA in general. The first one is McGregor Chandler becoming the TUF 31 coaches. Do you like this lineup of coaches, Clint? And are you going to be watching TUF? And also, when was the last time you watched TUF?
Honestly, man, I'm going to start with the last question. It has been a long time since I've watched TUF, and I hate to admit that because, I mean, I'm a diehard. I want to watch fights. I want to watch MMA. TUF got me into mixed martial arts. Like Ryan Bader is one of my favorite all-time fighters because that's the era that I started watching the sport. And the last couple seasons, it's like they've put minimal effort into them. The matchups haven't been great. The promotion on ESPN Plus was terrible. You know what I mean? Like I just didn't have anything pointing me to the show. So I've kind of fallen off. I haven't really watched it. This one's going to be must-see TV. I mean, it's McGregor. He always is. I think McGregor at this point in his career is, obviously he's very much on the downslide. He's not going to be in the championship conversation anymore. We all need to kind of temper our expectations with McGregor these days, but he's still going to be entertaining. He's going to run his mouth. He's going to talk trash. And I cannot wait for the motivational speeches that Chandler gives his fighters, because that man, you could zip him up in a Captain America cosplay and no one would notice the difference. Like, he can talk. So I'm very much looking forward to this season of The Ultimate Fighter. I think it's going to be a fun watch. It's a good matchup. Both these guys, kind of like Derek Lewis we're talking about, they're on the outside looking in of that top 5, top 6 conversation at this point in their careers. Let them bang. Let them have at it. Like, that's going to be a good fight. So I think this is great. And frankly, I just want to be on record to say, I'm so happy they didn't pick Tony Ferguson for this, because as much as I love the guy, I thought the UFC was going to go with the easy layup Conor McGregor W, give him a guy that's washed, and we were going to see Tony flat on his face on the canvas again. And frankly, I could do without that. So I'm very happy with this much more closely lined and competitive fight between a couple guys that have still at least got a little something to show us.
Meet me at the top. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm hyped for this. For the record, Jake Paul got me into mixed martial arts. Just kidding. I've watched pretty much every single season of TUF. Yes, I've been tuned in to the most recent ones. I think 29 and 30 on the ESPN Plus subscription. Yeah, I've been tuned in. So you better freaking believe that I'm going to be tuned into McGregor and Chandler. And I think it's airing on ESPN at the Tuesday nights. The ratings are going to be astronomical. Michael Chandler, like you said, this is going to be so awesome because more of the sports audience will be introduced to this well-spoken, just an elite human being. Is like I can't even put into words how much I respect him. I've listened to so many of his podcasts, and it's just very motivational. McGregor is now Redface from Captain America. This guy has more assaults than victories in his entire career. It's probably pretty close, criminal activity. Mob boss here, punching an old guy, slapping a fan's phone. It just goes on and on and on. So
getting hit by a car, just a regular day.
There's conspiracies. I don't even want to say it. Come on, the timing of that. But I hope he's well. I hope he's rested. I hope the car didn't affect anything. He's going to be phenomenal. But Michael Chandler will stamp Conor McGregor's career with this victory. I think they're looking at September. So, yeah, guys, I'm hyped.
Conor McGregor, man, what can you say? He draws eyes, and that's why the UFC is doing this. Is because he draws eyes, and they're gonna try to squeeze as much as they can out of Conor McGregor yes. Until they cannot squeeze anything out of him anymore. And I think this could be the last run or the last hurrah for Conor McGregor in the UFC. It could be, man. I think that's what they're maybe trying to do, and I think Conor McGregor you don't know what's happening in the boardroom, like what kind of contract situation, what kind of deal that they have going on. But maybe this could be the last we see of Conor McGregor in that UFC cage against Michael Chandler. We don't know, win or lose. You know what I mean? If he wins, it could be a different story. If he loses, I don't know. I think we're gonna see him shift to boxing eventually. It's just gonna happen. You know what I mean? There's so many big major fights out there, and fighting and training for MMA is just too horrendous for someone that wants to go box, right? It's just too much dedication, too much going on. And we've seen what happens when he trains boxing for an MMA fight. He gets taken out pretty easily, right? So I think I'm gonna watch too, man. I haven't watched TUF in a long time, but with Conor and his antics, and he's gonna be the self promoter, man. He's gonna go out there and TMZ's gonna write articles about TUF. When's the last time they did that? All these outlets are gonna be writing articles about TUF when they never did write any kind of articles, because they're gonna be hanging on every single antic or speech or just controversy that Conor brings up. And Michael Chandler's smart. He's going to use that negativity as fuel against Conor McGregor to pump it up even more. You know what I mean? Like, let's see a side of Michael Chandler, like a bad side of Michael Chandler. We know that he is Captain America. We know that he's the Tom Cruise of MMA, right? He's the guy that's gonna go on he's the guy that's gonna go on Oprah and jump on the couch and explain how he loves his wife and blah. You know, he's that guy, right? He's gonna go on The View. He's gonna go on, like, you know, on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. He's gonna, like, he's that guy. But I want to see the dark side of Michael Chandler. No, maybe Conor's going to be able to bring that side of him out, and then we'll see a phenomenal fight at 170. We're going to see a phenomenal fight no matter what, because these two guys are there to entertain. And will that work for McGregor? I don't know. You know what I mean? Chandler might go in there and wrestle him. Who knows? But we've seen that Chandler doesn't really have the best gas tank, and either does McGregor. So I see this fight ending within the first 2 rounds. It's going to be a fun one for us, right? But TUF is going to be fun as well.